Hi everyone, it's Lynn, and it's Friday, and we're going to talk about our color. So, and our color is peach, which, it didn't take me long to find a peach shirt in my closet, so that wasn't it. But honestly, I don't think I have, and I've made a ton of orange quilts, people. But I could not think of an orange quilt that I've made that's like the background's peach, or that it's got a lot of peach in it. It's got a lot of orange in it, and most of my quilts that are orange are much stronger quilts. This one's hanging up behind me because I'm going to talk about it in another video, and that's, you guys won't see that for a little bit. But I've decided I'm going to record all my quilt stories and put them out online. So I'm going to start doing that, but I want to have those kind of released, one at a time, because I think they're going to take a while to record all the stories, but I wanted to start with this one, so you're kind of seeing a preview behind me. And it was up for another, I was teaching something, I don't remember. I don't know. I taught something online, you guys know that. So Tuesday, I told you I was getting ready to teach Tuesday night, Sharon Schomburg's process of machine quilting, and just an overview. I didn't teach it. Like, it took me 20 minutes to talk about it, seriously. My hair looks a little frizzy. Okay. Isn't it bad? My hair, Anyway, so yeah, I did that. But so I thought I left it up for some reason, for whatever. It was on there. And I think there was another reason. I don't remember now, but I did have it hung up because I did want to talk about that and talk about what this quilt means to me and the meaning of it and all that kind of stuff, which I think maybe if you've seen an old thing on, the stitch, you may have seen me talk about it. So it's an important quilt in my quilting journey. There you go. And I feel like I want to record them all, like all my quilts in my quilting journey, just for me. And I'm going to put them online so that my family and friends and whoever else is interested, I guess, I don't know, can see them. So, but let's talk about peach and what we can do with the color peach and what I thought about we could do. And remember, these are my opinions. It's just what I'm thinking. And honest to God, right at the moment, that's true. It's just right now what I'm thinking. But I did have a brand new, we got a switcher, which is the reason I can go to my overhead shot. But look, I found out I can do picture to picture. How crazy is that? Oh my gosh. So, what I wanted to say with peach. So, I was looking at this color and I was kind of going, where is this going to land on our Pantone or on our orange? I do think it's a maybe even a red orange. Like, it's just got a little kind of red in it. But we're going to color it out. And again, I haven't seen it. I've already pulled fabric that I think is going to be in it. But this is definitely in this area. I think it's more this. So that kind of Pantone-y. It's almost got, look at the Pantone. It's almost, it'll go into brown really easily. Yeah, I think we're going to see that in some of the colors I did pull. On fabrics I did pull. Now, when we look at this, again, I think we're going to be in maybe this yellow-orange color. I think it's going to hit right in here. But let's color it out and see what we think. That's where I think it's going to hit, so we'll see. It's really light. And I knew it would be really light. Like, I'm not surprised that I'm seeing that, because we've learned that over the last 4 weeks. Crayon, the crayon itself is always lighter than what they're seeing. So can you believe this is week 5 or week 4? Is this week 4? It's week 4, I think. I don't know. It's peach. See, we did goldenrod, we did brown, we did green apple. Yeah, it's week 4. Week 4, peach. Now, I will say that this is not everyone's skin tone, but and I did think about this when I pulled the color peach. It isn't everyone's skin tone, and I know that, and we all know that. But I think this was in my stash because I do some portrait quilts, and I'm always looking for different skin tones, and I have a variety. But I pulled this, and this was kind of in that grouping where I kind of keep skin tones together in solids, and I don't have very many solids. It's rare that I have a solid, and I think I have this because it is kind of a skin tone look of certain people. Not everybody, of course, but of certain people. And I did think that when I pulled the color too, that it is, if it weren't called peach, I think it would, lend itself to certain skin tones. Although it is a much purer, like, I don't think anybody is that peachy. Maybe. I don't know. But I thought of that when I pulled it. The first thing and it was kind of because it was next to it, but I pulled this navy blue to go with it. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? Let me just push those off of here. Oh, you can see I'll scoot that out of the way. So I thought that this was an interesting kind of color combo in that you've got this peach, but if you marry it with something that's like really dark, I don't know, have we looked at these foxes before? That those go together well, like with a background or whatever, and these foxes with the navy. So you're talking like a rusty brown, which is what we saw on the Pantone thing. It goes into a brown, the two color things. They go into the brown and these oranges and stuff. So I thought peach was definitely could go with that kind of look, which is, I think, is a little different. I don't think it's a shocking. And look at my this is, I think, a little bit more orangey than peach. But, I am wearing it with this navy, and it's because this has this little cardigan. What is it called? Cardigan. Has some variety of colors in it. Now, I belong to a fabric club through a online quilt shop. And so one of the clubs I belong to is this club they send me, I think it's once a quarter, I get a variety of stack of fabrics. How many do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. So I get 16 fabrics every quarter, and it's all by the same manufacturer. So this manufacturer is Art Gallery. So, and they actually, so they do a collection, the quilt shop, and I'll put I don't want to tell you what it is online because I don't want to get the name wrong or whatever, so I can put a link in the description. And they're not sponsoring this, so there's no like affiliate link or anything like that. But so I belong to this. They just gather a collection of fabrics every quarter, and then they send you a fat quarter of those fabrics. And they're not all from one line, which is one of the reasons I like this program. If I want to buy all one line, there's all kinds of bundles out there where you can do that. And so, but I kind of like people putting together a group of fabrics that all go together. And this was the one sent to me in, I want to say October. So, and I'm probably, it's orange based probably because of that. So, but as I was talking about this, I was thinking that is peach. And those are nutcrackers, which I think is kind of funny because nutcrackers are definitely not peach is not a traditional color for a Christmas fabric. And I love that about this. I like taking non-traditional looks at things. But that's kind of a really neat background. And look, it's got the grays and it's the brown grays, and it's got these kind of orange reds and teal grays and this brown, rusty, almost, I would say goldenrod even. Yeah, goldenrod colors even. So I thought that was interesting. But these, granted, these are more pinky or coral more than our peach. But our peach is in here. So I just wanted to pull this out and go look at all these colors that peach can go with. And these are, although they are the same manufacturer, they are not the same line. So it's, these are Art Gallery, and I think you've heard me talk about that, but I do love Art Gallery. I love the way they feel. But this, again, is a peach background. I think if we pulled this peach, it's going to match this exactly. So you can see, just looking at this, you can pull fuchsia with peach, hot pink, this mint, and y'all, this is just my guess, but I'm telling you, and look, our goldenrod looks good with the peach. Look at, that's just, oh, I love this. Now, this is a tan. Now, this is definitely more fuchsia, but they sent this with this line. So, I mean, this goes with that peachy color. I thought this was cute. Definitely more orange, but again, goes with the peach. And then here's your peach and mint green. I am going to tell you right now, mint green and peach were two extremely popular colors in the 80s. I remember, I grew up in the 80s. I was in high school and college in the 80s. And these two colors were just a part of, I mean, I can think back of outfits or dresses that I had in the 80s, and they were the mint green and peach. And I am seeing that come back big time. So I think I even saw a Moda line the other day, and they were, it was an advertisement from Hancock Fabrics in Paducah, and they were advertising, you know, online. A Moda, I follow them on Instagram and Facebook. They're a great quilt shop. Again, no one sponsoring this. This is my opinion. This is where I go and buy stuff. So if you're online, they're a good shop. And the people who I buy this from, it's a Fat Quarter shop. That's what this is. I couldn't think of it earlier. I was like, I have to put it in the thing. It's a Fat Quarter shop. And they do monthly subscriptions, and I just belong to this one. But I'm telling you, mint and peach, it's going to be hot. Like those two colors, I'm just seeing more and more come out. And I bet it's just a harken back to the 80s. And I think this print is a harken back to the 80s because we loved Argyles then. And this is kind of a take on that. But I think peach and mint green you're going to see a lot. It definitely goes with this coral, pinky coral, which I had a hard time when we pull a pink. We will definitely talk about me having a hard time with pink because that was not my favorite color at all. And it's because I don't look good in it. Like, I look much better. Like, if this were a pink shirt, I would look washed out and horrible. But because I have gold in my skin, I just have a gold undertone in my skin, which you can tell is if someone told me how to do this. So if you have, like, green veins and this would, I guess this is true for all skin tones. But if your veins look more blue than green, blue means you have a blue undertone in your skin, and green means you have a yellow. So, anyway. And that's true because it doesn't matter what skin tone you are, you're going to have a different undertone, and you're going to look better in some colors than others. That's how it works. So, I look better in the golds and the warms and all that kind of stuff. I don't look as good in, like, blues. So, I don't wear very many blues. Accent maybe, but not right next to my skin. So, but this, again, is kind of got the lens to that peach. This is a little bit more orangey peach, but this had to have come in October because these are kind of got some Christmas stuff in it. You can tell I haven't done anything with it, but that's kind of funny. Look, the gingerbread man is as big as the house. How did we know that would work? And the candy cane is as big as the gingerbread man. Little trees, huge candy canes. And then brown. And I do think brown is one of those colors that's going to go right with the peach. It's just going to look awesome with it. So, but mark my words, this is just my guess, but I think you're going to find that that mint green and peach we're going to see more of together because they were just such huge colors in the 80s. They were huge colors in the 80s. So, anyway, but aren't those fun? Yeah, the Fat Quarter Shop, and they do a different variety of collections. It's not just, I only belong to the art gallery. So I pulled this too. This was actually on my design wall. I'm working on a crazy quilt, so don't look at that string that's right there. So this is a pattern. I think you guys saw this earlier, but so this is a crazy quilt. But look, this is peach right here. This little, so it's the center. So I chose all these fabrics to go with it, and I think there's a lot of bright colors in this with the, and this is the Tula Pink. It's her Alice in Wonderland cups that she did for her Alice in Wonderland line, which I love. I love that line. I really do. And so, yeah, all these mustard golds and the darker oranges, and even put some green in here. They're going to go with that peachy color. You know, when I first saw the peach color too, what I honestly thought of, and let me pull this back out. I honestly thought of, when I saw the peach color from a quilt standpoint, and I don't have a good sample of this to show you, but look, didn't that mint and green go together? That just, to me, look at that. Mint green, that mint green and peach. Oh, it's pretty. But I thought of all these soft pastel kind of colors. You're going to live in that pastel world. And that immediately reminded me of the 1930s quilts. The 1930s. And I don't have a lot of those calicos that you saw, the little 30s prints. But honestly, the peach and the 1930s colors, where you really saw all those cheery little pastels, the little pinks and the little blues and the mint greens, that's really where you saw that a ton. I just think a grandmother's flower garden quilt pattern, and those of you who are into English paper piecing, that's right up your alley. That's all those hexies. And so it just totally reminded me of the 1930s. So these I pulled as kind of reminiscent of that. These are not 1930s prints, but I definitely think, especially that. I had a dress that was this color that I loved in college. It's probably still upstairs in a closet somewhere because I don't get rid of stuff like that. I should, but I don't. Then I thought, there's even these little, look at these. Look at this. This is that just a little bit darker than this peachy color, but I think you're getting close. Look, right there. It's a little darker, but so I pulled these. I thought those were interesting. But if you wanted to go really like crazy, this would go with it. So you've got that brown and that teal, which I just think is an interesting. I think this would be a good background if you were using this, or a highlight of this. Depending on your block, you could, and you guys got to know, I love big prints in a block. I love big prints in a block. And you also know I'm a Tula fan. And this is an old Tula print, and I don't remember if it's Neptune. It may be. But that's that peach right there. Look. Peach, the grayish green, hot pink. You got some pinks in here. And then this is a red, really. That little red. And that goes great with that peach. Look at that. So we're letting, on this one, I'm letting the fabric tell me it goes with that. Then I thought, well, this one is pulling that peach in there too. And this is a completely different feel to it. You've got the hot orange, this bright, almost neon, green. It's almost a neon. It's not as bright. And then yellow. So this is where we would look at our monotone even. So the darker orange, the really dark orange. These are really dark orange to the peach. So I could see where this would be a background, to that really easily. And then I pulled some more modern kind of fabric. And this is, just this cute little owl. I think I have some... what else? Oh, I thought I had something else. But anyway, this cute little... So, again, I think your peach is going to run right into these browns really easily. So, I think browns are going to be a good connection with it. But isn't it just... I think... And we could probably say this, and I don't know, but my gut is saying this, that any color we kind of see with our eyes that could be a skin tone of all the variety of people in our world, I think they're going to go with everything. Because that's the way skin tones are. We go with everything. That's my guess. I don't know. That makes sense. That's the way God would make us. Like, we're just going to go with all his colors. I just think that's neat. But really, this one, of course, goes into the more red and then the brown here with this cute little owl fabric. And even, like, this is a batik. So I just think that this is... But I think you can really do a nice analogous kind of quilt, or monotone, where it's just going to be the peach that goes to the orange that goes to the red, or you could go the peach that goes to the orange that goes to the brown, that kind of thing. Here's another orange, and look at that nice monotone. That would be a monotone kind of thing. The other color I pulled that I think would look good with peach is gray. Like, I just think gray is going to have that really nice contrast to peach. And this is of course, more orange. Y'all have to know, I had a few oranges in my stash. So it wasn't hard to pull a bunch of oranges. And this I thought was interesting, too. Now, this is more pinky. It does have this peach in it, so I didn't want to throw it out. But I thought, isn't that an interesting kind of, that we would get into more of the analogous kind of stuff. And I still like the gray with it. Of course, now look, this is gray too. So, yeah, I just think that gray that's an interesting combo. I love this one. This, I just thought, that's a neat combo. And I think what's nice about that is it does bring in more of the minty kind of stuff, which I just think has got a really pretty look to it. So this is your tealy kind of thing. Let's take that one out for a second. Yeah, do you like that? I like that. I think, especially with these two, maybe this is a little light for it. But that's got that background where it's got that peach in it. Okay. So, and I thought, well, you can pull that green in there as well. Maybe not that one. Those look very nice together. But I do want to pull out, like I'm just telling you, this mint green, that green with this peach just is, it's going to be big, I think. It's going to be big. This is a rose print, but it did have that orangey color to it, and I felt like, so these are that brown that we liked. I think you could get in more the olive greens with this one and maybe pull in some oranges, but the peach is definitely going to blend right into that. That's just got a nice look. I should have pulled some yellow with that. Or you could go to that pinky color. I think that would look good with that. So, let's move that one out. This I liked with the peach. I think I've used this for a couple of things. This I'm pretty sure is a cotton and steel old print. But so it's not just, like, I feel like you can do some modern stuff with it as well as go retro. Like, this is a reproduction of probably 1800s reproduction print, right? And then a polka dot's a polka dot, polka dot. I mean, polka dot's going to look good with everything because it's polka dot. So here's another. I think you could go that bright, too. Yeah. Of course, we saw that last week with the greens. And then this was, I thought, it real interesting with your neon green, but it has these peaches in it. That's going to work together as well. And there's a lot going on here, so you could bring in the blues and the purples and the pinks. That's going to look good. And I also wanted to pull this one out because I think these are gorgeous together. Look at that kind of country blue with the yellow and the orange. And there's really not peach in this, but that peach looks good with it. Move those away. I'm trying not to let, you know, last week the stack of fabric like crashed off the... It crashed off the thing. I just think this is a really versatile fabric. I love this, and I'm thinking how I want to use it. But I think that peach goes really well with it. Just looks beautiful with it. I always want to look at our color with black and white, because I think that anytime you get a color, if you look at it with black and white, and I know I've used these same prints, but it just makes it look dramatic, doesn't it? Do you like it more with the white background or more with the cream background? I'm leaning towards the white isn't too stark for me, so I kind of like it with the creamier background. But I think that that looks good on all of that. So peach would look really good with that black and white. That's a really... To me, this looks really 80s. Like, for some reason, this just is jumping out at me that it looks like some of the styles and colorings that we saw in the 80s. But I will say, I think peach is one of those colors that was very popular in the 80s. Remember, we repeat everything. We totally do. We repeat colors that we're attracted to. Very much so. I remember about 10 years ago, I swear there were 2 or 3 lines that came out, and I'm like, that was my mother's kitchen. It was that goldenrod and that avocado, and I was like, that was my mom's kitchen. Totally my mom's kitchen. Okay, just balancing that. Don't tell her. So this is a kid's print, and I love the kid's print, but I'm telling you that tiger is peach. It's just a little bit darker than our sample, but that's a peachy color right there. And it's got the navy and the orange and the pink, and I loved this together. I thought that was just so dramatic and sharp. And I'm telling you, I would say the last 5 years, I have been just a little bit addicted to navy. And I don't know why, but navy has just stood out to me as one of the colors I absolutely love with everything. I'm finding that which is funny to me because that's not a color I'm normally attracted to. And maybe it's what we're seeing, being shown to us and all that kind of stuff, but navy is definitely a color that I'm attracted to. My phone is going off. I gotta tell it to shut up. Shush. Oh, and I did want to do this. So I think this is a much more subtle peach, right? Just kind of this subtle, the brown kind of look. But I wanted to show you this. That is the front of this fabric. This is the back of this fabric. This is the side that I'm interested in for this. You paid for both. There's nothing to say that if this side of the fabric is more attracted to you, you cannot use that as the top of your quilt. Do you see? You paid for both sides. You totally paid for both sides. All right, the other thing I wanted to give you, I got a new camera hookup. So the other thing I wanted to give you was, I just wanted to show you some other, stuff where I look at stuff online. So, this is a bedroom, and it's on Pinterest, right? So, I just thought that was interesting. Oops. So, look at this color palette. This one's interesting, I think. Well, if it'll come up. There we go. So, you're dealing with your peach and orange. So, these color palettes totally, fascinate me. And I save lots of them. Look, you've got your peach here. Let's look at this one. And they're showing you what it goes with. And of course, they name them different colors. It's named creme brulee with macaroni cheese, coral, bittersweet, and hibiscus. Who knew? I just don't limit your ideas to just what you're seeing in. Don't limit your ideas just to what you're seeing on fabric, right? Or in quilts. Let your gathering of inspiration be anywhere. I think that, that's what artists do, is they look at their world and they go, okay, what inspires me? And I will tell you that Pinterest will suck your time completely. And not to say that I haven't done it, because I totally have. But just like this picture, I mean, that's just kind of a really neat picture. This doesn't have the peach in it, but it definitely shows you how orange and pink and red and pinks go together. And I kind of always look at these pictures and go, okay, where am I inspired? What does, like, that may be more peachy to me. That coral, Copper Harbor. Isn't that, and they're doing it with black. And I love how, or mellow coral is probably closer to our peach. And I love how they just kind of take different photos and they're inspired by those photos of what, would be a color palette that we would be interested in, So that's one of the places that I go look for inspiration of what I want to do with a quilt and how I put colors together is I let, I may be inspired by, a shirt or a billboard or a picture on the web or a picture of something that I've taken on, on my going out and seeing the world kind of thing. So just don't limit it. Peach, I think, we will find is one of a very versatile color. And I don't say that because I'm in love with orange. I am in love with orange. I've been in love with orange for a very long time. If you could see right here, you would see my orange sewing machine. This is how much I love orange. But I just think that peach has got a lot of, not only from one of the types of skin tones you can use if you're a portrait artist. I think one of the portraits that did really well at QuiltCon that I saw a bunch of, which was a lady holding her child, and she used orange and peach and purple and green and blue, and it was so well done. I was just like, that's really cool. And it was her and her kid. It was just great. So don't let even, you have to match stuff exactly unless you're that type of realistic type of portrait artist, because she used some really cool stuff. And actually, one of my good friends is a portrait artist, and she uses prints for every, kind of thing. And don't let stuff like this. Let me switch back. And don't let stuff like this, which is a kid's print, take you off the path and go, that won't work. This is for an adult, because I think you will find that, there's a lot of sophistication in some of the kids' prints. I think there's a lot of really interesting. It's just I'll be honest with you, some of my favorite artists are children's illustrators. I love looking at picturesque children's authors and the illustrators that do that. That's some of my favorite stuff. So anyway, that's peach. Can you believe it? Peach went all these places, went lots of different places. And it doesn't even have to have it in the fabric, too. I think we saw that with this one. Of course, there's not even peach in this fabric, but it looked darn good with that. It really did. Probably because I think the flowers have so much warmth in them, and then peach has the warmth in it. Just really interesting. So, well, that's our color for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, all the stuff. And we will talk to you on Tuesday, and we will draw our next. Oh, if I move that, it's going to fall. We'll draw our next color, and we'll see what we can find out with that color and see how we can approach it and look at it. And so have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later.